For those who are watching later on the replay, I want to make sure I speak first instead of just sitting here waiting. But we wait for people to join in. I am not supposed to be here today because I'm supposed to be on the road by now, but I'm not. So I thought I would come in and do an update. This is energy forecast, so it helps be able to energy forecasts. I read through the energy of the day and what is happening within the energy of today. And so today I have a lot of, as yesterday, there's a lot of up and down, but there's a lot of storm in the air today. A lot of storms in the air today. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you're at Big Fish Bay. Oh, lucky you, Karen, out camping. My camper's been sitting in storage for 3 years now. Morning, Sherry. So I'm coming in to do a quick morning session, but I just wanted to stop in and do something. I just want to come in and read through the energy. So for all those who are watching, who don't comment, I know you're there. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. And to each and everyone who show up each and every day, thank you so much, love. So today I just got chills when I came in here. So there's a lot of energy. Good morning, Michelle. So everybody that's in here so far this morning is Slave Lake. So good morning, Jaden. So the energy that we have happening right now, and Megan and Missy, is really up and down. There's a lot of it's like you got to ride the waves. Got to ride the waves on this energy that we have happening. I was up at, I'm up early, but I was out of the house by 8 a.m. out for my morning walk. I had all my workout done by 9:30. And then I was like, I went from being like, it was weird. It was just like, and then everything just stopped. It was like this stale energy. It's like, now what? Even though I got lots to do, it was like, now what? It just felt like all the air went out of life. It was just as if everything just went and everything got sucked out. And so that's what you may feel like. You may feel like you can conquer the world 1 minute, and the next minute you may feel like, oh, I can't do nothing. I don't have the energy. You may get stuck in your head. You may be coming back and forth between like now and the past, or worrying about the future and then back to the now. So we got a shift that's happening. And of course, I'm not an astrologer, but I am a seer. And so I can see through this energy, and there's a lot of kind of trickstery energy that's floating around right now. There's some kind of weird kind of energy that's out there. So I just want, as I'm reading this today, as I'm reading through this energy today, to just know that if you're feeling like you're up and down, then this is why. But also there is inspirational stuff in here as well today. So there is, but we have storm warnings. And I just shared from the movie. I don't know if everyone's watched that movie, Fifth Element. Hello, Natalie. And Sasha, hi. And I said hi to Missy, I think. Yeah. and so that movie, Fifth Element, and when the blue alien lady comes out and she sings, and I'm like, oh my God, that just made my life make sense. Like there's just so much. But that song that came up, like I could hear her voice this morning singing that song, and something pulled me to find that video and to share that video. I'm like, that's what the world feels like for me today. It's like it feels like the world is like even though we're in because we're in Gemini, because I just feel like we're in that Gemini. We have like this two faces. So it's like we have this double-edged sword of energy that's happening around us. We have this big shift. Now we do have another eclipse coming up. We have a new moon coming up this coming week on the 10th. We have and that one is that intentions, that getting clear on our intentions, on what we want and what we want to see happen. But there's a lot of movement. And so I feel like for a lot of us, what we don't realize sometimes is that when we feel out of sorts, or when you feel like your energy is all out, is that you're actually moving, you're shifting. It's not a bad thing. So it's uncomfortable. And because we associate uncomfortable with bad, well, it's not good, I don't feel good, like something is wrong today. No, you're uncomfortable. Uncomfortable means that you weren't sitting where you were an hour ago. You weren't sitting where you were You're in the unknown. So there's a lot of unknown energy right now. You have a lot of unknown. We're in a stage of the stale of the stagnant unknown. We're like bobbing through this energy, and we're just waiting for the next we're waiting for the next move, like a chess game. And I feel like that's exactly, it feels like we're in a chess game, and we're waiting for those who wear the crowns. We're waiting for those who are the so-called, the major chess players, to make their next move. And so something of a next move is to be made, and the next move is coming. We don't need to rush the next move. You don't need to get yourself caught in trying to make the next moves happen. The next moves are like in the process. It's like they're in creation right now. So the next moves are in creation. So much unknown right now for you, Jaden. Yeah. Right. Good morning, everyone else who's joining in here with us. Good morning, Barb and Lie. I know that's not really name. Marlene, good morning. Good morning, everyone. So yeah, so it's like a chess, and that's exactly what the world is right now. We're in a chess game. We're in a chess game with life, and we're waiting for some of the big players to make a move. And some of the big players are waiting for the big players to make a move. It's like there is that two sides, and where everyone's trying to get to the other side, to conquer, to defeat. But I don't feel like the conquer and defeat is going to turn out like they thought it would. There is definitely something going down. There's definitely something happening. Good morning, Stacy. I have to message you, Stacy. We got to set up a time here. Good morning, Sheila. Yes, this chess game is exhausting. Exactly, right? And so we play this game in our own emotions. We play it in our own lives. It's like we go back and forth with, who am I? What am I? Where am I supposed to be? What am I supposed to do? Well, this is the stalemate. Right now we're in the stalemate energy. You don't have to make any, it's like no big choices, no big decisions. It is not a time to make those, to know that we have a big shift that's coming in. This is the pause. When we hit the summer equinox, that's when we're going to see time for a big change. I feel like if we respond and we react and we jump in right now, is that you may be reacting out of emotions, and from the emotional self, and not out of true self. So you're not true self. The need to be right, the need to prove something, to need to kind of try to get um, vindication, whatever it may be the motive behind if we take big actions right now. I feel like if we just sit and we just wait this through, that whatever decision or choices you're making, if that's where you are today, is that we let that, it's just like, just observe. Become an observer of what you are witnessing, what we're looking at. Become an observer of, what do I want to see? How do I want to see my life? How do I want to see things unfold? And then the moves will come. By June the 21st, around there, I feel like with the summer equinox, we're going to see some shifts, some changes. But on a world scale right now, in the world energy, and I always say, I give you the world energy, you bring that into your story. Bring it smaller and bring it into our story. So on the world energy right now, I'm like, there is a chess game. And we have a chess game, and we have knights, and we have kings, and we have queens, and we have people that are all in this hierarchy. And it's not like the beauty of the angelic hierarchy, because they got it figured out, because they got no ego. They know we all have to work together, and everybody's equally as valuable. It's just the hierarchy is set the way it is so that things can get done. Well, we don't have that in human world. We have a need to get to the top, because there's a motive to manipulate behind it. So I've said this yesterday, and I keep saying, it's like government, people that are in the top of the businesses, the people that are on top of making these decisions and these choices, are not making them for you. And just like I said about people getting to, we are opening back up, not because it is time for us, not because it's about us. It is because there is big things, big events that have big money that they want to get to, and they want to happen. And so that's why things are opening up. Got nothing to do with you. It got nothing to do with our best interests. And so that's kind of the chess game too. I feel like there's some big choices and big decisions that they'll make it look like, oh, it's for the people, it's for you, we do it all for you. And no, it's like so the world is like being in a relationship with a narcissist. or somebody who has extreme bipolar. That's what the Right? That's what the world feels like. It's like if you ever listen to a politician when they're on, like when they're all fighting to have that one, to wear the crown for each side, they'll all have a hate on for each other. And then all of a sudden, when they come together, then all of a sudden they're like, oh, yeah, just pretend like you didn't hear what we all just said about the other person. I do love them. I do support them. They're the best person ever. But forget that I was just, when I wanted their job, when I wanted to be where they were, I just said everything in the world but them, but erase it. You never heard it, never happened. And that's kind of, that whole energy is like that plays out everywhere. So we have the world energy feels like it has a massive dose of narcissistic or bipolar. And it's like we see it everywhere. We're seeing it on a world scale. We're seeing it all over the place. And that's what the energy feels like today. And that it's like that whole being convinced that we're doing it for the best, we're doing it for you. And so the same thing when you get caught in your head, and when we let the negative energy when we let the negative, when we let the enemy within, the monster within, when we let that own us, we can convince ourselves that we're doing something that is for, oh, that's best for you, it's best for them, I'm doing the best. And it's like, no, sometimes we're doing the easiest, or we are choosing the lesser of two evils. And when we're choosing the lesser of two evils, or we're choosing to do the thing that's going to either line our pockets or to give us what we want, that sense of that spoiled energy, when we get what we want, then we can pretend that was best for everybody, right? And so that energy is everywhere. And I think this back to to a story that when we were kids, my mother used to say to me, and this may make sense to you. So when we're kids, now my mother and I talked about this not long ago, and we talked about, when we were kids, we would both get a chocolate bar. There's only two children. We would both get, let's just say, a chocolate bar, right? So we get the chocolate bar, and I would savor mine, and I would get distracted, and I'd lay it down. I didn't have to eat it all right now. Well, my sibling wasn't the same. He would eat all of his, and then he'd come want mine. And mom would say, just give him some of yours. And I'm like, no, he had his. And she said, but Corey, give him some of it. No. And she said, I would just go, mm-mm. Now, it's not that I wouldn't share. It was the point behind, he just had his, and he ate all of his, and now he wants mine too. And kids do that. Well, the world does that too. Those that have a desire to have it all, to take it all, to get all their own way, to get everything their way, does that. So in the meantime, those of us that take a stand, say that no, that's not right. It's the ability to see beyond that motive. And if the emotional self steps in and says, oh, but we should just all give in. We should just give people their own way. We should just, and so if we do that to our shadow self, to the enemy within, oh, I should just give in to that. I should just, I should just let that go. I should just forget that happened. Well, that starts to pile up, and that becomes a dumping ground. That becomes sewage. That becomes like you're living in the dump. Right? When you keep letting those things go, or you keep making excuses, or you keep saying, we just need to, that's just how people are. That's just how things are. No, that's just not how things are. And that's just not how people are. That's how we're conditioned to be. We are conditioned to believe those things because we are conditioned to go against what our original thought is, our original truth, our instincts. We have been pushed beyond our instincts, and we've been told to second guess that instinct. It's like, no, that's not right. You got that wrong. You're just making that up. You're just feeling that. And so that's the kind of the energy of the narcissist, the extreme bipolar energy that's in the universe right now. So we have this two-sided energy that's floating around you. And I hope that makes sense. I don't know. I'm just trying to find a way to put this in perspective so that we can understand it on a bigger level as we watch some of this unfold, because we're going to be observing this unfold in big ways. And it's like, oh, well, you all can't travel, but I can travel. Forget that I ever said that. and then be like, oh, no, 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 I changed my mind. All of you can travel only because I want to travel. That's the kind of energy that we are seeing come to life. But then we're also seeing some big shifts and changes, and there's some explosive kind of energy that's happening. And I just feel like there is something coming that's going to set the world on fire, and it's already in motion. I feel like it's already happening, it's already in motion, where somebody in another head of state in another country or something is going to look in at the immaturity of, say, the US or Canada, wherever it is, whichever, like just comparing countries, and they're going to say, what was that about? Like, we're only now kind of calming down because we got so worked up. What was that action about? What was that behavior about? What was that energy about? What was that story about? What was the truth of that? So you did all of that. You caused all that just to get this, or just to get your way, just to have this happen for you, and you convinced everyone else. It's like that's coming down somehow. And I don't know where that plays out, but that's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep seeing. And so the reason why I bought the Everyday Goddess Oracle cards, the deck of the cards up, like the cover of the cards, the box of the cover, is that the box is the return to the innocence. It's the return to our original. Is that in order to be the best of us and to be who we need to be in these times, is to return. And this is what this rebirth is that we're coming through. We are in the womb right now, and we're looking through, and it's almost like you can poke your finger into the next level, the next life that we're here to exist within. We're here to exist in this next life. But we're being told the person or the part of us that needs to go into that next life is the one that goes beyond the original, like back to the original why of why we came here, to the original purpose, to the innocence. And that means that for us to return into a state of grace, to show mercy, and to kind of show mercy for everyone, to show mercy for what we did not understand, for what we didn't know, for what we know better of now. And instead of wanting everyone to pay a price for the past, we have to show mercy to the past. We have to show mercy to ourselves. We have to show mercy. And that means that if we can let ourselves come back into love, let ourselves remember who and what we are at the core of us, that we're not built on lies and manipulation and fear. We are also sent on beauty and love, innocence. And everything's probably started out as, not everything, a lot of things starts out as an innocent plan. And innocence can turn ugly when we're not getting everything going our way. And then we up the ante. And so we're being told that return to the original self, of the return to love, the return to light, the return to the beauty within, and to find the beauty in the world, that the world was created on beautiful things, and our world was created, and we had beautiful things in our creation, and we have a beautiful life. But we have to a lot has to burn away. And we're watching these moves, we're watching this game, we're watching this chess game, and there's just stalemate energy. And one move is going to be a move that's going to change everything. We're going to see a topple of a board. And I just had this thought. I remember being kids and we were playing chess. This goes back, see, we're playing chess. And I happened to be winning that day, which I didn't win very much, but I was winning. And my brother got mad, and he took the board and he went, and he flipped the board up. And he threw the board up in the air and he says, I hate this game. And it's because he wasn't winning. And that's what the world does, right? It's like, and so that childlike energy, when we're not winning, when we're not getting our way, when we're not getting what we want, we tip the board. And so I feel like the whole universal energy is like tipping the board and saying, neither one of you guys are going to win. The grandmother energy, the elder energy, which is not here on earth, this divine energy is going to fold the board back up, going to put the chess pieces back in the box, just like the box cover here, and putting the cards back in the box and packing everything back in the box and saying, you are done. You're done playing this game. It's over. Nobody knows how to play fairly. Nobody knows how to play nicely. Nobody is getting along. So we're taking back over. So Mother Earth, the Divine Mother, God consciousness, all of that energy feels like it is going to be coming in, taking back over. It's taking the game out of our hands, out the hands of those who feel like they have control of everything, and those that feel like they are invincible and on top of the world, and that everything should go their way and the whole world should go their way, and that chess game is being folded back up. All the pieces are being put back in the box, and the cards are being put away until we know how, until the world knows how to play nice, and we're returning to innocence. We're returning back into that. We have to go back to some of the old ways of doing things. You may even see some things go blank. I feel like how that mind control, all of those things, you're going to see things go blank. You're going to see things blacked out. You're going to see things change. And when we see those games be put away, and it's like that divine mother, that divine energy that is taking the world back and taking the world by storm again. And I'm like, I know I'm the unheard voice in the big scheme of things. And then you're going to hear someone big talk about it, and then blah blah blah. They're going to say, "Oh," but it's like, but this has been coming through for a long time for me. It is a whole part of the more than existing. How I have to use my stories to be able to understand this sometimes, to be able to get it out, because if how I talk in there and how I can commute this to make it make sense is a different ballgame. So the cards kind of going back in the box, things are being put back in, all the games, all the pieces is going back in, and until people learn how to play nice, it's not going to be coming out of the box again. And if that game might never come out of the box again, it's going to be a new way of playing, a new way of doing things, a new life, a new beginning. There's changes. And I am telling you, this feels like there is a storm coming. My cat was nuts this morning. Nuts. I mean, she went crazy, and I got the laziest cat in the world, and she's crying and she's running around the house. My other dog is going around vibrating, shaking. They're curled up in little balls. The earth is shaking. The world is shaking. I didn't share that video by accident, by mistake. There is something spinning us. There's something that has us as the little pieces that are stagnant, that are just, we just stay right here and stay doing what we're doing, because the rest is spinning around us, and the rest is something big is coming down, and something big is falling. London Bridge is falling down. You know those songs. So there is something tumbling, there is something falling, there is something on fire, there is something ending, and all of those chess pieces that everyone's waiting to play the move, the game is going to fold in. So there is a folding in of the stories, there's a collapse in the stories, there is a fall apart. I always say, you know what? No matter what, people will eat their own. You get all caught up in this war with people, and then that cluster, that mob mentality is so angry and so pissed off, and so that energy that eventually, when they got no one else, when no one is giving them attention, they will turn around and they'll attack on themselves. They become their own. And so when everyone stops giving that attention, they attack their own. And I just feel like it's like there is just a hierarchy of energy that is outside of everything that's in the game, that is just looking in and just saying, I am done. Somebody has to become a grown-up in this world, and what is leading this world is not a grown-up. There's not one grown-up out there. It is embarrassment. It is embarrassing to watch the existence of those who are supposed to be held to higher standards, how they behave, how they interact, how they react, how they're in what started as places that were more like kid type of places, how they come in, and that place of attack, they act like children, they act worse, they're all acting like spoiled rotten freaking rich brats. They're all acting like they are entitled and the world owes them something. And all of that game is being folded, collapsed, and being put together. And the divine, the holy realm, the hierarchy of the world outside of us, Mother Earth, all is taking back. And something is going to collapse things in a big way. And when it does, it's going to be just like shake our heads. So be the best of friends with your neighbors, with your friends, with your community, with the people that really do matter, because that's what matters. Return to grace. Show mercy to yourself and to others for what you did get caught up in, stories we do get caught up in, and to just know to be there for each other, to be that love, to be that support, and to be present with each other, because that's what's going to matter. Because the illusionist is the card that comes out, and the illusionist is that there's been a lot of games and there's been a lot of fakeness, and there's the veils on the lies are thinning. And I just feel like this whole, it's like the paradox energies, right? You can pretend to be as sweet and innocent and as good as you want, but really truly all of what we do to manipulate anyone else or to manipulate energy, the mask comes off. Well, as long as you're wearing a mask, you're able to be exposed. When you're allowing yourself to be real, honest, loyal, real, true, authentic, and say what you mean. It's like, just know that if you want to sell something, tell people the truth about it. If you have to get people to follow you by fear, then that's not faith. And if you're going to play a game and you're going to break all the rules and you're going to make all the rules suit you, then eventually that game is going to collapse. And that's the energy that we have come out. So this energy that we're in today is that those who are, it's like all those fighting to be a number one realizes that it's like there's an aha awakening moment that you're never going to be a number one, which is how More Than Existing got written, was the fact that I realized that you'll always be fighting to be a number one as long as you're trying to be a number one, right? It's like this sense of you're always trying to chase this impossible dream. And when you're chasing the impossible, it's like it turns you into everything you don't want to be. And so this paradox is like, there's just this illusionist, there's all of this is being exposed and coming out, but there is some storms happening, and I can see it all the way around. And so that beautiful grace, that beautiful yellow little dress, that card arrived the day my granddaughter was born, June the 7th. And on June the 7th, I don't know what else happens in the world other than it's my granddaughter's birthday, but that card arrived, and the artist, Amelia Richard, who does all the artwork for these pictures, she didn't know my granddaughter was born. And today I'm on my way to my granddaughter's birthday party that we're having for her today. And that's, when you can see the beauty, when you can find the beauty, that's what we have to remember in ourselves. We have to remember the world did have beauty. The world has beautiful things. And we were the beautiful things that were born into this world. And the weapons that people were turned into the weapons. And we have to return to being the beautiful things and being the kind people and being the good people and being nice to each other, because then they can't use us to be their weapons, and they can't conquer and divide and get us to live in this story of hating on each other because of somebody who makes the call to make the decision to try to play a game, to conquer, to divide, to turn people against each other, just to be able to to get what they want. And so if we stop playing with them, we stop playing the game, we will change the world. So we're returning. See, master manipulator. We have the master manipulator. We have this Mavis energy. And so this energy that's coming out is that if we play on the bleeding heart game instead of the truth of our heart and the honesty, and we get grounded and rooted in what we know our truth is, and we stay true to that, we allow ourselves to come through that rebirth energy, and we born in a new life. We born into the human that we're here to be, and we're born into the capacity to be the everyday miracle that we need to be, which is our beautiful she is. And the she is showing us today that we have the capability inside of us to be the love, to be the light, to be the beauty, and that we can collapse in these stupid games that are being played, and to no longer be the enemy to each other, to be kind, to be loving, to be caring, and to know that we are not going to change the world by returning and doing the things that they did in the past, by getting revenge, by doing those things. That's not what changes the world. We change the world by becoming a better person than we were yesterday. And so There is transformation happening, but there is dismantling that'll have to happen before then. So if we dismantle our own stories, we dismantle our hate stories, if we dismantle everything that we believe we should hold somebody else responsible, if we show mercy, we will show love. If we show mercy, we show kindness and compassion. It is time for us to become compassionate, time for us to become caring, and we're going to have to just kind of sit around the edges and watch as there is something more powerful than all of us. And that more powerful actually comes with a lot of love. And so each and every day, let's be that energy today. Let's work together. Yeah, let's work together. I was channeling that. I couldn't read the comments until I finished channeling. You know how my channeling goes. Once I start, I can't get distracted from it. So this is our energy of today. We're putting the games are going to collapse. There's a collapse coming. There is that illusionist being exposed, being that paradox to the truth. And it's time for us to become our truth, to live in our truth, to not to have nothing to hide, to let everything be exposed. Let's put it all out on a table and let's be grown as fucking adults and let's start growing up instead of acting like children, because what's running the world in all locations right now is a disgrace. It is shameful, and to see grown ass adults act like children it's saddening. And to see how we have all divided and conquered, like, it just makes me so sad. And no matter, I don't care who you are, I don't care if you're a head of a talk show, or if you're head of an Instagram, or if you're head of a country. If you are a part of a conquer, a divide, and you are contributing to that conquer, that divide, and that whole fucking woke story and cancel stories and all of those things, then you are no better than the people that put the man on the cross. And I'd rather be the man on the cross than to be the one who puts him on the cross. And I am collapsing those games. I am not playing those games, and I'm not becoming a part of that energy. I'm staying in the middle road. I'm staying walking in love and light and being the change in myself and doing what I need to do. And that's what I encourage everyone else to do as well. Alanka, I seen your message come up. I just haven't been able to look in yet. So thank you. Right. You feel that Mother Earth. Me too. I feel the rumble. I feel the shake. I feel the fire. I feel it all. Like I said, I was out walking and birds are diving at me. And tomorrow I'm starting to teach my course, the mystical realms, and I'm starting with the fays and the fairies, and I'm starting with the mystical, and it's nothing like you would think. Nothing that I teach, nothing that I do is like anything that you would expect it to be. I've been channeling this since yesterday. This big message, I've been working on it for a while, but it's not as you think it would be. And so there's a lot of interesting things that happens. And I know now that this started for me way back when I would pick blueberries when I was a little girl in Buckens, Newfoundland, in the plateau, right where I know is my pilgrimage. It's my land. It's my home. And picking blueberries. And as I picked blueberries, I had tears in my eyes. And as the Fae said to me last night, or said to me early this morning, we seen that you had tears in your eyes and joy in your heart. So we knew you really weren't sad. You were sad by the human behavior, not sad because of you. You weren't sad. You're sad because of human behaviors. And it saddens you to see how humans treat each other. I may sometimes have tears in my eyes, but my heart has joy. And that has always been. What you seek the most outside of you is always within you. Remember that. And that's where my class is going tomorrow. I'm looking now. I'm looking. So I just want to look at my message here from Alanka. So we live next door to each other. Alanka and I live next door to each other. And there's times when I'm channeling Isis, Mother Mary, or I'm channeling through the goddess energy, and she walks up the stairs through that direction, through her house to my house. And then we've been channeling, like, it's crazy. I'm channeling, I'm dreaming, she's get it. So, Alanka, the crazy thing about what you just sent me, I've been lighting a candle. I've been lighting a candle and putting on my dresser for 2 nights in this clear quartz candle holder that I have that opens up like this. And I put it in front of the mirror so it faces your house. I put it in front of the mirror so it's facing the side of your house, but so the candle reflects the light. And so the reflection of the light is what I have been doing for 2 nights now. And I've been sending this healing out into the world. And I just feel like we're being like that plugged in. That video that I shared earlier from the Fifth Element movie, that makes sense for today. And then Alanka sends me a video as well about the planet and this, like a sun melting over the top and the 2 people. Yep. It's crazy. It's crazy that it's not crazy. It just shows us how much to our world there really is. If we let ourselves be limited in our belief and our thought, if we keep living this limited mind, and we keep letting immaturity, and we can't keep letting people play games with our lives and with our hearts and with our souls. Like I said, it's like the whole world has this narcissistic or extreme bipolar energy that just like can put on this face for the world and play this one story, and then when they get you alone or they get behind closed doors, it's like, bah! It's like that energy. It's like there's something fucking there that's just in that energy. And so we don't need to be it in our own lives. This is time for us to let our wings out, let our love out, let our light shine, let ourselves be everything that we need more of in this world. And just know that we can't change what is about to unfold. But the grand master of the world is about to close in the game. The chess game is being put away. It's like the world don't know how to play nice, so the game is going to be taken out of their hands. It's going to be folded up. It's going to be put away. All the pieces are going to be put away, and something is going to show us what is really in control, and going to say, now, are you ready to play nice together? Now, are you ready to get along? And like I said, I may be a little Peabody, and no, not many people might listen to what I have to say. I always say I'm underestimated, and I call myself like the dirty little secrets. Like, people could work with me and not say, right? It's like this whole sense of, who is she to do this? She might be just a hairdresser, but I channel through. I know what I channel, and I know who I channel. And there's a lot of us in the world who have to start believing that we are all of us in the world have to start believing that we are everything, and we are that light, and we are way more powerful than we thought we are. And that's not ego, that is love. And to know that, it's like, I know my messages get to where it needs to go. And if somebody else, gets to be the big puma light, then that's fine. I know my light. And that's what you have to know. Show yourself enough mercy to stop fighting to be a number one, and just know that we are all worthy, and we are all a part of the bigger scheme. We're all part of the bigger picture, but we all need to play our part, and our part is in love and light, and our part isn't to be that essence within our own hearts, to find the inner peace. Find your inner peace. Right? You've been remembering the different stages, preferring to stay with nature, rather singing to the birds. Yes. And reflecting on different, right? Fairies, dragons, yes, all those things. Return to the innocence, because that elemental dimension is not wrong. It's not wrong. I've been walking with them since the blueberry bushes, since I was a little girl. And I can't wait to unfold this tomorrow when I start teaching this mystical realm. So it's still time to get into that class, that training. It is not what you think it is. Nothing that I think, nothing that I do is like you think it's going to be. It's nothing like you think it is. It is all channeled through. And I never know why they ask me to teach these things, but I trust it. And so whatever they give for me to do it, and that's what we're doing. So right? We get to feel it and connect to you. Exactly, Lisa. And so, and if you go to Lisa's page, Lisa Star Francis, you can see we are syncing somehow here in the universal energy. We all are. We are all synced. We're all here to be a voice. We're all here to look different, sound different, but to be receiving our messages all from the same places. And that's why we're here. Yes, this class, yes, it's 2 Sundays and it's recorded. So if you can't make it to the lives, you can get the recordings after. I think it's 6 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, Sunday night. And so it's this Sunday and next Sunday. So I look forward to seeing everybody there. And so have a good time. Now I'm reading everything and looking around, just making sure I got all the message out. I wasn't even coming in today. So yes, December is and I've been saying this, so this is the difference. We may get a month, but that could be, so like some of the stuff that I received 2 years ago is only coming through now, because the only way, divine timing is not the same as human time. Human time was created for us to be able to have a tracking system and for us to have that control and for us to be able to keep things organized and put together. So in the divine time, that they don't have the same time. So we have to work around patience and waiting and just knowing that some of the channeled messages that I put out 2 years ago are actually only coming to life right now. So it's that divine time. Trusting the divine time. Hello, Joy McGregor. I'm away yet. I'm just waiting for Corey to get home. So I'm away to my granddaughter's birthday party. Return to grace, our return to innocence, remembering to show ourselves mercy, finding the original of us, returning to the original of who we are, right to our core, and just letting ourselves just be in the stale of this energy, knowing that by June the 21st, I just feel like when that summer solstice hits, but the first big shift is happening on the new moon. The first big shift is happening around June the 10th, around the new moon. It's just like shaking the energy. And then you're seeing after June the 21st, it'll be go time again, big shifts. But something in between there is coming down the pipe. And I just keep saying, it's like, I don't live in fear of stuff. I just know that they're going to close in this game on them. The game has expired. This energy has expired, and there's a lot of expired energy that is time for it to go. So much love. Have a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for being here. Always. Much love. And share these videos out.